Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to make this Snoopy with Woodstock cookie. Thought this would be nice for Valentine's Day or for any Snoopy or Peanuts gang fan. Alright guys, let's get started. The things that I used: a Snoopy and Woodstock cookie cutter that I found on Etsy.com, some white royal icing, some black, yellow, and red food coloring by Wilton, and some heart sprinkles. Alright guys, so the first thing I'm going to do is outline this cookie. But first, to add this extra piece at the bottom, just cut out a rectangle piece and just trim it sideways like this at an angle, and then just attach it to the Snoopy cutout when it's still raw, and then bake it, and it should attach together like this without a problem. If you've seen some of my other videos where I do attach other pieces to another piece of cookie dough, you will see how I do that. It's very simple. Just cut out both pieces and then place it on the cookie sheet, attach them together, and then bake them as normal, and they attach really nicely like that. So what I'm going to do now is gravel black in somewhat of a thick consistency. I have a tip 3 here. That'll give me a nice thick outline, so when I flood it in with my white, it doesn't the white doesn't hide my black. I will still be able to see that outline. So here you see I have a little gap there, and his ear is going to come draping down right there. So I'm going to start, this is the center here right underneath the nose, so I'm going to start right next to it, and I'm going to make a line here. Now here, right underneath Woodstock's foot, I'm going to start with his arm, and I'm going to bring it down here and make 3 fingers like this and attach it to that. That'll be the arm. And you need that because once it gets filled in, you'll have to see his arm. If this line here happens to get flooded over with the white, we can just go over it with a little bit more of this black icing with a number 1 or 0 tip, and we'll fill that in. But we can do that towards the end. Now just fill out the rest of the cookie, which is the house here. This is the roof of the house, which is going to be in red. And when you come here, leave that little gap there because of the ear. And then we're going to outline all of Snoopy. Come down here, and he has a little necklace or a collar. So we'll do that towards the end. That way it could be above the white. And here I'm just going to go ahead and fill in the nose. And then for Woodstock, I'm going to give it right here where the neck is. I'm just going to bring this up, outline the front, and scoop up the top like that. And the rest of it you'll see towards the middle of the video how I'm going to do this rest of the part here. And the ear is going to go afterwards, and the eye, and that's pretty much it. Okay, so I have here a tip number 2 in white. In a flood consistency, I gotta fill the whole entire Snoopy, and since it's a large amount of space, I have to work hard, not hard, but fast, because I have to do one area first, and by the time I get to my other section, this front section will start to have crusted, so I have to work really quickly. So just fill this in and then quickly go on to the rest of his body, because you have to attach this here with the rest that you just started, or else it's going to crust. So just fill it in, and you give it some time to dry. I would give this about an hour or so, or a little bit longer, so when we put the red in here, it doesn't absorb into the white. It will hide, the ear will hide a little bit if it does blend in there or bleed in there. So if it does, we can just hide that with the ear. I can go ahead and start off with with the Woodstock, with the yellow, since we have the black here that separates with the white, so I can go ahead and do that next. Alright, so I need to have a few things ready. I'm going to have my hearts ready with my tweezer, and I have here some yellow in a tip 1, and my black that I use for the outline, I switched it to a tip 0. You probably would want to go with a tip 0 because the little details are really fine. So I'm sure you can use a 1 as well, but even with a tip 0, it does kind of give you a thick outline. So what I'm going to start off with is my yellow, and I'm going to fill in the whole entire bird, and then I'm going to go in with some black with the outlines. I'm going to do those to sink in, since I only have that one line that I did at the beginning. I have to fill in the rest. Okay, and then I'm going to go in with my black. I'm going to do 2 little hairs at the top, and they'll fix the little peaks towards the end. And then bring this sort of like an L shape, like that. And then come down through the back of his head down to the neck part. And then you'll stop. And then we'll do the tail separate. And bring it down. Then you do a little wing. And then his little feet that go up like this. And his 2 little eyes. Just pull out like that. And now we can go ahead and bring in these little peaks in here. And the eyes, he has like a little bit elongated eyes. Bring all anything that's poking out, bring it in, and then quickly grab either a pink or a red heart. I have four Snoopy, so I'm gonna do 2 pink and 2 red hearts. So I'm gonna grab this pink one here and then put it right there with where his hand would be. He's giving Snoopy a Valentine's little heart. And that is it. So I'm going to give this some time to dry. I don't think I mentioned on the outline, I did give it 3 hours for this outline to dry. I know it's a bit long for just an outline, but again, we are working with white, and I really would hate for this white to absorb any of this black, and then you'll have a lot of shadowing in there. So give it around 3 hours for it to kind of dry completely. That way when you pour in your white, that moisture is not going to want to suck any of this black outline into it. Alright guys, so the first thing I want to do here is that it did go over my black line. So I'm going to go over it with my black in my number 0 tip. And I'm just going to go over it right where the line is. And as I come down here, I'm going to taper it down, because I don't want to make this line any bulkier. So now I'm going to switch over to a tip number 2 in my red. As you see there, I did put some lines into my red. Those are the lines from the wood that would be on the roof. And then just spread this out. And now with the same tip 0 in the black, just make some lines. You can make them any way that you like, as long as it doesn't cover the ear part here. So I'm just going to make this little line here and a larger line. And don't make too many, it's just some little wiggly lines from the wood. And then I'm going to push them in, because you don't want those to dry sticking up. And then I'm going to go back here by the neck to make this collar, just one straight line, and then I'm going to just press it down to soften that up, and then one straight little line right here for his eye. And that's it. So I'm going to let this dry probably for a couple hours so I can bring down his ear here, and that's it. So that's what it's going to look like for now before the ear. Alright guys, so the last thing I need to do is add the ear. So right where he had the little space, and this is nice and dry now. Just bring it down, and as you go up, kind of make this down here a little bit wider than the top, and then just tap it down to smoothen that out, and that's it. So I'm gonna let this crust, and then I'm gonna put them all together. Alright guys, that is all. I hope you like how they turned out. Not too hard to make. If you're wanting to know where I got the cookie cutter, I got it from Etsy.com. You can either go online or download the app for free on your phone, and you can purchase it from there. Alright guys, I thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more. Like up the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't done so. And I will talk to you soon. Thanks so much guys, and have a good one.